On June 18th, Max Immelman, Germany's greatest air hero, was killed. In the late afternoon, he led a flight of 4 eindeckers into battle against 8 British Fe-2Bs of No. 25 Squadron. The Fees had just crossed the lines near Arras, intent on photographing the German positions, when Immelman's flight intercepted them. After a long-running fight that scattered the participants over some 30 miles, Immelman brought down one of the British machines, with both its pilot and observer wounded. This was his 16th victory. Later that evening, Immelman again found himself in a battle with the pilots of No. 25 Squadron, this time near the French town of Lens. Coming on a pair of the British pushers, Immelman immediately dispatched one of them with a burst that hit the pilot and sent the Fe-2 crashing down below. The second machine, however, flown by Second Lieutenant G.R. McCubbin, a South African, managed to bring its guns to bear on the great German ace, and Immelman's Fokker fell to its destruction. The Eagle of Lille was dead. As Germany mourned the loss of its first ace, rumors began to emerge that he had not been vanquished by the enemy, but had been killed when the interrupter gear in his Fokker failed and he shot off his own propeller. This theory was widely accepted at the time. The public had believed Immelman to be invincible, and he simply couldn't have been downed by an enemy two-seater. On the British side of the lines, McCubbin was officially credited with the ace's death and was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross for this action. After examining the wreckage of Immelman's machine, a board of inquiry decided that mechanical failure, not enemy gunfire, had indeed been responsible for the crash. Anthony Fokker was outraged by the ruling. He believed the decision had been influenced by some of the powerful German firms in competition with him to supply airplanes to the Flieger Troop. Indeed, Fokker's status as a Dutch national had already made it difficult to conduct business inside the fatherland. There had been ongoing problems in securing the contracts needed to supply the Dutchmen with the better, more powerful engines being built by the Mercedes and BMW firms. The German aircraft industry, particularly the Albatros Company, with their new single-seat biplane, had been able to design their machines around the best engines available, and the new planes being tested by Fokker's team at Schwerin would have no chance of competing fairly for military contracts. With the death of Max Immelman, the day of the Eindecker's favor had come to an end. The German aviators were now distrustful of the machine, and as new types of airplanes were introduced, the once superior design was now rendered obsolete. Many of the frontline fighter squadrons were now being re-equipped with a decent performing Scout designed by the Albatros Company. The D-1, built around a 150 horsepower Mercedes engine, was a wooden frame biplane that was both rugged and maneuverable. Introduced to counter the growing threat presented by the British de Havilland and the French Nieuport fighters, the Albatros would continue to evolve and would remain in service until the end of the war.